Good morning, students. Today in this video we are going to deal with the circulation of blood in the human being. So in the previous video we had talked about the blood, the functions of blood. So today in this video we are going to see the circulation of blood in the human being. So we have also seen in the previous thing that the main component or the main parts of the circulatory system. So here also I'm just showing you all for a while that the circulatory system mainly consists of three things, that is the heart, that is the motor, the blood, that is the liquid part, that is the main circulatory system, and the blood vessels. Now these blood vessels contain two things, that is first that is vein, artery, and one more thing is there, capillary. So remember one thing, in this artery and in this vein, every time the artery will just take the blood to the target. The artery take away the blood, that means they will every time they will take the blood away from the heart, and every time the vein will just carry the blood to the heart. That means if this is the heart, the artery will take away the blood from the heart to the target organ, but the vein, it will carry the blood to the heart. So these are the some little bit differences. So you can imagine that if a artery comes, then you can imagine that that means that tube is taking away the blood from the heart, and if the name vein come, then you can imagine that the blood is just coming into the heart. So from this all these things we have understand that how important our blood is, how important our blood vessels are, but mainly the main important part, the main circulatory part, that is the heart. That means it is the pumping, that means the one who pumps the blood, one who just give that means creates a pressure on the blood so that they are distributed in the body. So imagine a situation that if we take out our blood our heart and brain, that means if we take out our heart and brain, every single work will be stopped in our body. So whenever you see a case of that means a heart patient or a brain patient, that means the situation is very very critical. Okay, so let's start our circulation of blood in the human being. Just see over here, this is the location of the heart. That means the rib cage is there from here to here, so it is protecting. Now every time we just that means in the childhood period we used to know that a heart is present in the left side, that means over here, but heart is not present in the left, it is present in the middle, just slightly left. That means it is slightly left, it is not fully left, it is middle left. So this is the position of the heart where it just pumps every time, and the normal heartbeat is 72 times per minute. Now let's start. First we will see the direction of the blood, that means from which area the blood is entering and from which area the blood is going out. See what I have told you all, that just see this one, pulmonary vein. The name vein comes, that means it will bring the blood to the heart. So if I imagine that this is the lung, okay, now from the lung the blood is there. Now if we have taken the oxygen from here, the blood is there, now blood have to take this oxygen to the whole body, this will take the blood to the pulmonary vein. Now from pulmonary vein it will enter to the chambers of the heart. So let's see the chambers of the heart. See, actually human heart is having 4 chambers. In the upside, that means in this side, it is called atrium. It is called atrium, or we can say it is called atria. So here atrium is written, we will call the atrium. For the right side is the right atrium, left side is left atrium. So in the downside we can see that it is two chambered. The left one is left ventricles and the right one is right ventricles. That means the upside are the atrium and downside are the ventricles. So remember one thing, in the left side, this is the left side, every right thing will work in the left side, but every wrong thing will happen in the right side. So let's see the flow of the blood. So from the pulmonary vein the blood will enter. When the blood will enter over here through the veins, now here the blood, when the pressure over here, the blood, that means the pressure over here will be greater. Now when this left atrium will just pump the blood to this side, that means to the left ventricle. Now you can see that here is a one thing, this is called valve. It is just like a window. When the blood will enter from here, this valve will be closed. Now what is the function of this valve? This function the function of this valve is to stop the backflow of the blood. That means so that the blood cannot backflow, that means so that the blood cannot go away from left ventricle to the left atrium. Now when this left ventricle again contract, that means when it will again create a pressure, when it will again pump, now the blood will enter. That means from here we are talking about the oxygenated blood. That means I have told you all that this blood is coming from the lungs, that means oxygenated blood. Now from left ventricle the blood will go out through the main aorta. This is called main aorta. This one is called the main aorta. Now from this main aorta, these things, you can see the three things, these are arteries. Now what is the function of artery? I have told you all that it will take away the blood from the heart. Now we will move to the another diagram, that the arteries, how the arteries are just parceling the blood. So here we can see the arteries is there. So the arteries will again divide into capillaries. We can see the name capillaries are there, the small units are called capillaries. Now the capillaries will exchange the material with the cells. If this is a cell, they will exchange the material with the cell, just like glucose is there, amino acid is there, oxygen is there, water is there. So they will exchange. Now here if they are giving the materials, that is the oxygenated blood comes here. Now oxygen is just, that means they are giving the oxygen to the cell. Now again the capillaries, the one who will take away the blood, again it will be, now it is deoxygenated blood. That means it is right now it is not carrying the oxygen, but it is carrying the CO2. That means in the cell it is produced glucose plus CO2 plus water. So CO2 have to that means it has to be taken out from the body. Now capillaries will take away the, that means within the blood it will take away the CO2. Now again it will give the blood to the veins. What the veins do? Vein take back the blood to the heart. Now let's see here. From the veins, now we have talked about the veins. Now from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, we can talk that this is the vena cava. Simply vena cava. That means from the vena cava again the deoxygenated blood will enter to the right atrium. Now again right atrium will give a pressure and it will enter into the right ventricles. Again here is a valve, the valve will be closed. Now in the right ventricle, within one pump, again the blood will go to the outside. That means through the pulmonary artery the blood will go to the lungs. Now again if they are reaching to the lungs, when they are reaching to the lungs, that means they are just releasing the carbon dioxide. Now with the help of the nose we are just releasing the carbon dioxide. That means imagine how fast our blood is working, how fast our heart is working. That means within a pump the blood is moving to the target cells, they are coming back again, and how fast we are breathing. So So let's see one more time. From the pulmonary vein the blood enters. Now the left atrium is here. Left atrium pushes the blood to the left ventricle. Left ventricle, within a one pump, it forcefully moves from the main aorta. From the main aorta, artery is there. Artery is giving to the capillary. Now again capillary is giving to the vein. Now from the veins, that means from the vena cava, the blood is entering to the left atrium. Now left atrium is again pushing it, and it is now coming into the right ventricles. Now from the right ventricles, from the again when it is pushing from the pulmonary artery, it is going out to the lungs. Now we can imagine two things from here, that in this part, in the left part, when the blood is entering, it was oxygenated, but when the blood was entering over here, it was deoxygenated. So here we have completed our circulation of blood in the human being. So in the next video we are going to study the next part.